All right, what's up, YouTube? This is Boxingwave, and I just wanted to do a quick video on this topic with Deontay Wilder and him being a free agent and being in a position where he can go as he chooses. He doesn't have to necessarily stay on PBC. We've heard reports that financially things haven't really been on the up and up when it comes to making the Andy Ruiz fight on PBC. Okay. I guess at this point, with the amount of pay-per-views and what they both done throughout their careers, um, I'm assuming that they're not getting the kind of money that they would want for that fight. All right. And there's been a lot of talk about PBC and surrounding the PBC in general when it comes to finances. Well, the fighters, Wilder has recently made some comments. We know Adrian Broner made some comments. We also know what happened with Bud and Crawford and Errol Spence fight falling apart, and a lot of other things that we've heard over the years as far as where they are and a financial state and stuff like that. But we're not going to get into all of that. A lot of the things that I'm going to say here is what I've been saying about fighters and in general how I feel about fighters from both a fan's perspective, which I am a boxing fan first, but also just also from the fighter's perspective as well, because at the end of the day, those are the guys that have to make the choices on what they make, whatever choices they make, they have to make the choice on what to do for their career and their family and their, finances and stuff like that. They're the ones that actually have to go in the ring. So what do I feel about this? Well, I'm gonna keep this real short. Deontay Wilder, if he is truly free to go and fight as he pleases, like if he's not currently in a multi-fight deal with the PBC, all right. I'm not one of those guys that feel like you should go here to this network or you should go there based on the network itself, because we have a lot of cult fans in boxing. And when I say cult, you have cults that are fans of just specific fighters based on race, ethnicity and stuff like that. But you have cult followings of just network fans. I'm supporting PBC, or I support Matchroom or Golden Boy or Top Rank, or networks like it's ESPN or The Zone or whatever, right? So you have cult boxing fans that support networks and promoters too, which is kind of crazy to me, but it's a real thing, and it wasn't always like this. All right. With that being said, Deontay Wilder, Canelo Alvarez, Errol Spence Jr., Terrence Crawford, um, Tank Davis, Anthony Joshua, Dillian White, Andy Ruiz. I'm naming fighters that have made a lot of money throughout their careers, have become champions, multi-divisional champions, unified champions, has had successful pay-per-views. Tyson Fury, successful pay-per-views, have sold out arenas, have done great peak numbers on whatever show or event that they had. And guys that are typically 30 and over, that have generated a lot of money throughout their careers. Not guys that are on the come up that sign multi-fight deals and they start reaching their first millions, and you know they get when you're in a position to be comfortable. I know Devin Haney recently tried to do it where he tried to be his own boss, wanted to be a free agent and fight as he pleases, not getting into these long-term fight deals with these networks or these promoters. But I noticed like guys like Canelo recently, or even Miguel Cotto towards, not the very end of his career, but Cotto, guys should have the freedom to go where they choose to be, what offers the most money and the greatest opportunities. It's just that battle between legacy and money, because as us as fans, if you're a fan of the fighter, I don't know what you're a fan of. You might just want that fighter to continue to be successful. You don't care who they fight. You might just support whoever they fight. It's just that you're a fan of them. But there are a lot of fans that care about legacy too, and then there's fighters that care about money. Well, they all do, but some of them are a mix with money and legacy. Some just go where the money is going, where the money is at, and some go where the legacy is at, or they'll mix it up a little bit. Deontay Wilder is in his later 30s. He's had some good. He's earned a lot of money. He's generated a lot of money, especially with the Tyson Fury fights. And he's at the point now where I feel like he should go where the money is at. Now, as a boxing fan, I want legacy. So if it was up to me, I would love for them to try to work out an Anthony Joshua fight more than any other fight. That would be my number one pick because I've been wanting to see that fight for at least 7 years now. I've been pushing that fight on this channel for at least 7 years. How I've been wanting to see that fight. But if Francis Ngannou, who is the MMA fighter that's a free agent, is looking to box, his name has come up with Tyson Fury, has come up with Dillian White, who White has offered, just like Wilder has offered to do a 2-fight deal with Francis Ngannou and doing a boxing and an MMA match. I love that. I don't like the fact that a lot of fighters, and Wilder has said this. I was checking out, shout out to Trill Boxing Talk, because I was listening to him. CC in 78 had Wilder. I don't know how new or recent the interview was, but I was listening to the interview, and Wilder was like, yo, I think it's fair. Like, why should you just come cross over to boxing and me not fight you at what you do? I don't like that. And I like how Dillian White said the same thing. Like, Dillian White said the same thing. He he actually used to be a kickboxer. He used to actually do MMA. There's videos on YouTube of him doing it. And I like that, because I don't like when I understand that UFC or the MMA boxer or fighter wants to come over to boxing and cross over because the money is there. So I get why they do it. But at the same time, as far as like from a warrior standpoint, like you have a major advantage boxing them because they're limited in boxing. They have to do every MMA. They have to worry about takedowns, leg kicks, knees, elbows, all this stuff that, and as a boxer, you're not concerned about. So you're fighting a limited version of an MMA fighter, and at the same time, you're an expert at just hand-to-hand combat, just using your hands. So with that being said, I like what Wilder said, but at this point, we have to be realistic. As boxing fans, I would say maybe not in its exact order, but I would say AJ should be number one. Um, Andy Ruiz is still a great fight. So maybe they can get that rocking. Maybe they could get that shaking on another platform because that's still a good fight. Um, Ngannou's a good fight. It's good for Fury. It's good for AJ. It's good for all of them guys because Ngannou is, he left as the champ. He left as the best, as the heavyweight champ. I know Cyril Gane is going to be fighting John Jones. Is cool, but neither one of those guys beat Francis Ngannou before he left. Um, who else would I like? I don't really want to see a fourth Tyson Fury fight, but it is realistic. Um, but if Wilder is going to be shopping around, go where the money is. Um, Joe Joyce is another option. I would love to see that fight. If we can get Wilder or Gondo or Andy Ruiz. I'm sorry, Joshua. Joe Joyce is a good, but at the end of the day, I'm being realistic. I'm telling you what fights I want to see, but I also know that wherever, which way he goes, they're gonna have to pay him. And that's just where it should be at this point. Because fans are just you want to please your fans. You do. But the fans are just they're all over the place. You know what I'm saying? They're all over the place. You're never gonna really please them. You're gonna get love and you're gonna get hate at the same time. Um, so with that being said, you have to go where the money is at this point. Um, I would like for the fighters to sprinkle some legacy in there too. And most of them do. But At this stage, being in your later 30s, you're looking for an exit plan. And the exit plan includes money. You want to get paid. These last few fights that you're going to be involved in, you want to get paid. You know, you got guys that are retired, long retired, and still coming back and picking up checks, getting involved in exhibitions. So while you are still relevant and you're still one of the top dogs at heavyweight, you want to get paid. But in order to get paid more, you might have to take a little risk in giving us a fight that we desire. And I think the AJ fight is what we desire the most. But the two of them together has to agree with that. It's not all on Wilder and it's not all on AJ. Like I've said in previous videos, you guys both lost fights. You know, you guys have both been stopped. Um, it was very difficult because there was a lot of risk there because no one wants to lose. But now, if when it comes to Wilder, you Wilder fans might not want to admit to this, but Wilder was pissed off by turning down that 100 million because he tweeted it himself. You know, taking that fight with Fury was a hit financially for him because he had a better opportunity. He did. He tweeted that. That's not me saying that. He tweeted that. So y'all can take it as you want. Um, I'm sure he still thinks about that, and I'm sure he wants to make that money up. And I think he could. I think he can make. I think he could still make a big money fight with AJ, and even AJ, he's training with Derek James, and he's gonna have his fight with Jermaine Franklin. There's a lot of people that feel like AJ is overrated all this time. So AJ still has a lot more to prove to people or to himself. And he could still make a lot more money while doing that. I don't know if he's gonna ever get the Fury fight, but AJ should still fight Deontay Wilder. They should fight each other before they retire, and AJ should, if the option to fight Wilder is available, and Eddie is serious because Eddie Hearn has come out and said he's looking to possibly doing business with Deontay Wilder. If that's true, then make the fight happen. Don't push too long. AJ's fighting Jermaine Franklin. If Wilder is available after this Franklin fight, make something happen. What are we waiting for? They can make a lot of money and it'll be a legacy fight for both. You know what I'm saying? Because those two specific fighters have a cult following. You know what I'm saying? And it will answer a lot of questions. Yes, Fury beat Deontay Wilder. I get it. But it will still answer a lot of questions as far as where are we putting these guys. And if AJ is to beat Wilder, there's still room to go and fight Tyson Fury later. Even if he were to fight Usyk and lose, there's still room to make that fight. So I think that, yes, Wilder should go where the money is at. But Wilder, in order to make even more money, there would probably have to be some sort of risk involved, and that would be in fighting AJ. Hopefully they can make it happen. I personally always thought that a lot of the reason why those fights didn't happen is because of the business and the politics. It's very rare when I say that a fighter is specifically avoiding someone. And if I do say that, it's basically on what they say in certain interviews. But sometimes even in that senses, I think that they can't say certain things. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a plan already put in place for them. And they might not want to tell us. But I think a lot of it has to do with the politics. But you can't even base everything on what a fighter actually says anymore anyway, too. But with all that being said, when it comes to Deontay Wilder, even if BT come out and say, hey, we'll have you fight Joe Parker, but we'll pay you this amount of money to fight him. Now, I don't think that would happen. I don't think there's much of a demand for that fight right now. Not anymore. But, if Eddie said, if Frank says, yo, we'll feed you Joe Parker, in a multi-fight deal, Joseph Parker, maybe Joe Joyce, and then maybe, I don't know, Tyson Fury for a fourth time. I don't know. But if the money is there, then don't miss out on it. If Eddie comes out and says, "Hey, we'll give you Dillian White, and then we could do a 2-fight deal with AJ, and the money is great. They can give him something great. Then do it. Go where the money is." But there are certain fights that are more legacy like, or maybe Eddie can pull some strings and get Andy Ruiz over there. I have no idea. Maybe they can work something out. I don't know what these guys can do. But go where the money is at. But as a boxing fan, I think AJ should be top priority. I also think that Andy Ruiz should still be a priority because I think that is still a good fight. I think Joe Joyce is a good fight if you want something dangerous, but there's a lot of risk involved with that. Maybe not as much reward as Andy Ruiz or Anthony Joshua. You know what I'm saying? Um, so yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I mean, he's in his later 30s, so you gotta have an exit plan, and that's me just being real. All right, let me know what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel. I'm out of here. Smash the like button. Peace.